For people who just joined, feel free to add your names under attendee and add the topics or questions you would like to ask or discuss in the discussion items. Hey, Mathis,
Hello, can you hear me?
we can.
Okay, sorry, I cannot see the screen. It's weird.
Uh, hey,
That's fine.
uh,
I
yeah,
will just follow on the doc.
yeah. Hey, Chen. Hey, Yuan.
Hello, hi, Yuhan.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
good.
Good to see you two here today. Yeah, feel free to put down your names under attendees and the topics we would like to discuss under the items. Yeah, we will start at 10:05. Oh, sorry, 8:05 PT. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can get started. 1 second. Let me turn on a meeting notes. Okay, never mind. Okay. So yeah, we can get started. Hi everyone, thanks for coming to our community meeting this week. And so yeah, I think there are some newcomers. Hua Min, do you want to briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, you have for the invitation. I joined the project a few weeks ago. I come from Red Hat Office of CTO, and my day job is mostly around the inference infrastructure, especially a distributed LLM inference infrastructure. So this is a very nice place to work together. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah, thanks for coming to the community meeting today. Yeah, nice. Um, so yeah, we can get started. Yeah, we can go through the discussion items one by one. So first, our Q2 roadmap is out. Like, feel free to take a look at this issue. Yeah, and so basically we have yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, so basically, like we have some features that have been requested by the community for several times, and also some very interesting and important features we want to add to the project in Q2. Yeah, feel free to take a look and comment or leave questions there in this issue. Okay, so yeah, so our next item is Sidan. Do you want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So we released the official documentation for production stack, and the page is here in the link, docs.vllm.ai/projects production stack. Also, anybody can contribute to these docs whenever a new feature is added or something is missing. So the idea is the docs is hosted on the same GitHub repository under the docs folder. And under the docs folder, there's a source folder which has the .rst files, which if you just edit and create a PR, once the PR is merged, the new documentation will be automatically updated to this link. And there are instructions in the README on how to build the documentation. and how to build it locally to see your current changes inside the folder itself. So feel free to take a look if you want to add or make changes to any of the documentation.
Nice. Yeah. So
Just a quick, sorry.
yeah, why not?
Since now I just have a quick question. Do you have like a, architectural design or overview doc that can come along with the release this documentation? Because at the bare minimum, I think the contributors may want to have certain ideas of what the router libraries and core functionalities are before they can make a contribution, a meaningful contribution.
That is actually a good question. I don't think we have an aggregated design document yet, but I will add that to the root directory so that if anybody wants to like add to the document, they can first read that to see what the overall structure is like. I think that will be very helpful. That's a good suggestion.
Okay, maybe I can just take a stab on it and then you can review it.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. Yeah, Kuntai, do you want to
Yeah.
talk briefly about
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on my side, I'm temporarily freezing the prefix-aware routing PR. So the main reason is twofold. First, like the Envoy-related PRs expand the router functionality seems to be more urgent. Second, like existing session-based routing can satisfy about 90% of the use cases. So I guess other functionality is more urgent. Yeah. Uh, the second thing is that I'm uh, I'm doing design discussions on vLLM side interface to ship disaggregate preview for V1, and vLLM V1 is much faster, so like it will improve our performance in general.
Mhm. Thanks. Okay.
Kuntai, is a session-based routing. Do you already have a proposal on it?
The session-based routing is already supported,
Oh, okay.
like in current production stack. Yeah.
How did you identify the session ID?
So basically, there is a configuration key you can configure.
I
Like
see.
there's an X session ID field you can configure, and with that, you can change it to any tag you want, like any tag, any keys in the request, in the request JSON head. Yeah.
I see. I see. Thank you.
Mhm.
Do you have documentation on that? The session key?
Uh, I don't think so. I don't think there's documentation. Maybe you can add one. Yeah.
You can, if I can figure that out.
Yeah, so then like we can add the more documentation on the session-based routing in the future. Like, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. So there is a question for you, Kuntai, in the chat. Like, how much faster is vLLM V1?
Uh, Good question. So basically, at high QPS, it will be 2x-ish improvement. 2x is reduction on time to first token, average time to first token. So, I would say it's kind of significant. And that was my like I don't have a figure at hand right now, but I previously did some measurement, and on Llama 8B model on very high QPS, it has a pretty significant improvement, about 2x. Yeah, 2x in terms of TTFT reduction, not in terms of like maximum QPS before the TTFT inflates. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so that sounds like a pretty huge improvement in terms of speed. Yeah.
I have a question about the router part. So, how it handles um the failure of replicas right now. So, for example, if you route it to a replica and then unfortunately that replica is already done.
Uh, yeah.
So anybody knows details about the uh failover control of router right now?
Yeah, Kuntai or Shouting, do you know?
I think like we do have we previously we were developing the uh like the KV cache migration technique to handle the fault tolerance gracefully. But that technique, I'm not sure is the PR is shipped or not. Let me check. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
um,
about the router part, if the engine is down when it is still doing the inference, and then we have a timeout, and if the we have a timeout when receiving the chunks of the response. So if the timeout happens, it will route the request, and also it will add the already response that we have already received to another engine. So on the user side, they will not find out that the engine is down when he's getting the response. But this PR, we are still working on it. Like this is our current design, but we haven't merged it into the main branch.
the reason I'm asking this is not because to have the smooth precision from the user to even migrate to the KV cache. I know that's more advanced and definitely requires more work. All I'm saying is, do you have a simple, very simple, naive failover control, like if the request timeout and then or failed, and then you just route it to another one? The reason I'm asking this is because, like, for example, I'm updating which LoRa adapters are cached or loaded on which vLLM server. And then if that information is outdated, I might very likely to route request to a replica that doesn't register the adapter at all. So it will fail, right? And then I just want the router to have a mechanism to reroute to another one.
I see, I see. Yeah,
So
yeah. Please go ahead, sorry.
yeah, so as long as you have the mechanism to reroute to another one to resend the request, it would be good for most of the cases. Even I know performance-wise, you probably want better, but that's a simple one we can have in open source without further complicating all the performance guarantees.
Yeah, this is actually a very good question. Yeah, I think like Yihua will have more like sense like idea like how the current like migration is done. Like feel free to reach out to him offline. Yeah, he's like by the way like some of our core team members are in GTC this week. Yeah, feel free to reach out to them in person if you are there. Okay. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, I guess we can move on. So Huaming, do you want to talk a bit about like the NLP filter release?
Oh, thank you. So we have a number of features currently sitting under the experimental directory. This is by design, by purpose. The meaning is that many of these features are optional and will cause certain performance hit if you are not using it correctly or using the wrong scenario. So that's how currently this gets designed. And additionally, some of the, for example, the semantic cache using the very preliminary vector DB phase. In production, we should use a more enterprise robust vector DB. So that is not currently implemented. So my idea is that if we are going to enable certain NLP features for production, potentially we have certain release notions to make them visible to end users, and certain benchmarks need to pass before we make this announcement. Would that be something that will be, let's just say, if we are releasing the vLLM router, the core router, as a singular Docker release for certain release, and then would that be possible? We release the NLP edition as another Docker image with certain, image labels to indicate the progress, and then we can let people to experiment and then get feedbacks or get feedbacks or enhancements in the future. So whether that release processes can be incorporated into the CI pipeline is the question I'm going to ask.
CI pipeline, yeah, 收听 Shouting is mainly responsible for maintaining the CI pipelines in production stack.
Okay.
Shouting.
Do you think we need an end-to-end test or performance test for this NLP related feature
Yeah.
in CI pipeline?
Yeah, so if you can just give me the high level guidelines, how that will be happening in the core router, like for example, the performance benchmarks you need to pass and test cases that you need to pass. Maybe I can add this into the future enhancements to the NLP filters. So when you are going to release at least certain bare minimal tests should pass before you can cut a release tag for this NLP enhancement.
Yeah, but for each feature, I think we need different tests, right? If we use semantic cache, we need to for the performance the test we need to use some like the exact same request to test the router. So I think we need to add CI test for each different release.
Okay. So that's definitely a good plan. Maybe I can just maybe we can just think up on Slack channel to see what kind of tests we need to run and what kind of benchmark actually to run in the CI before you can make a decision whether that's to cut the release tag for the NLP filters.
Sure, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Huamin. Yeah, I saw your great like semantic cache PR. Yeah, that is a really interesting and important feature to have. Yeah,
Thank you. I'm more than happy to make more contributions.
thank you. Okay, any questions for Huamin? Yeah, I actually noticed like we have another newcomer, Paul. Do you want to briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, in a second. Yeah, hi, my name is Paul. I'm from ULSBR, which is a Swiss bank, and we are very much interested in vLLM. We're using it since almost a year now, and yeah, on the same page, we're also interested in then getting the vLLM production stack into work. So therefore, thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for your interest in production stack. Yeah, and yeah, feel free to join our future community meetings too. Yeah, are you in the Slack channel, by the way?
Yes, I am there. I was also present in the first meeting stand
Oh,
up from you. But I
okay,
couldn't introduce myself back then. But now
okay,
I'm
sorry. My bad. Okay. Would you mind putting your name under attendee list so that
yes, in a second I'll do that.
thank you. Okay. Yeah. If there are no questions for Huamin, like we can go to Chen.
Oh yes, I actually have a question for Huamin. You are saying semantic caching can be beneficial if we use vector DB. Do you have in mind what kind of vector DB you want to use, or will that be part of it?
So there were certain things we can consider. One is the Postgres vector. So that is an open source vector DB that everybody can have access to. The other option is Redis, but I think Redis has its own enterprise license for the vector DB capabilities. I would first, I know this is also a request for discussion. I would first will try the Postgres vector, see if that will work. If that works, that's great. Then we can just use it as one of the vector DB instance. And then potentially, if anybody can make add the Redis support, for whatever reason, to benchmark it, that would be great. We can compare side by side what could be the benefits of using any of these. If there's a certain other backend we can add to, I'm all open to the ideas.
Will this be a separate microservice or in-memory vector DB?
Oh yeah, that is a separate microservice you're going to run in the background. So I will just using the client Python library to integrate with the additional microservice instances to enable that functionality.
So to enable this, right? Does that mean, for example, when you use the Helm chart to deploy the
That's a good question. Yeah, that's right. So you're definitely right. So in addition to the implementation, I will also add the Helm chart enhancements if we are going to use additional backend.
I see. Yeah. And because they probably want it to be more modularized, right? So it could be optional if they don't enable semantic caching. So you probably also want to change the like the Helm chart values.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's all good points. I will consider that when I make the PRs. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I actually make a PR for the LoRa controller support. So like 2 weeks ago, I presented the design. In the let me share my screen if okay. Okay. So I think like just to remind us, like 2 weeks ago, I proposed a tutorial. No, I proposed a proposal to support dynamically adding more LoRa adapters into the production stack, and then to actually register those adapters in the corresponding vLLM server, and then maintaining the mapping between adapters to pods, actually in those CR status. So in this way, the router can be aware of where an adapter is already registered on which pod, right? It can also, like over time, without rebooting any of the VM servers, to dynamically add more adapters or unload more adapters. So actually I have a prototype implementation, and then I'm going to show the quick video. So I will also see if we can try it. So basically, this is the one with the deployment of the adapter. I already made the changes of the Helm chart and everything. So I
Oh,
actually
sorry.
uh,
Did I miss the video or just I'm just seeing blank screen?
you're just seeing blank script.
I can see the video.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a second screen.
yeah. Let me see. Let me try to share it again. Are you able to
Okay,
see?
yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I already made the PR to the production stack to upload all those Helm chart template changes, and then so the image is already uploaded to your Elm cache repo as well. So if the code itself right now is still on my repo, and I will make the PR later after you review the Helm chart changes. And then the way to install it is very simple. I will have an example values YAML in your tutorial as well, probably not 7, but 8. And then one click install, it will also install a LoRa controller together with the deployment of router and deployment of the engine, right? And in order to register a new LoRa adapter, right? Let me speed up a little bit. So it takes some time. Okay, let's go back. So it takes some time for all the adapters to be running. And then if we forward the engine surveys and see the existing models available, only the base model is available. That's a different port number. My mistake. Yeah, 8080. So you can see only the base model, which is a Llama 2 7B, is available. And then if we go ahead and try this is the CR you're going to define for the new LoRa adapter, right? It can be a name, refer to the base model, and then you refer to the source. The source right now can support Hugging Face, repository to load a single model, or you can even use cloud object storage like IBM Cos or AWS S3 to load a bunch of adapters with certain prefix or certain regular expression filter to add all of those. And then the deployment configuration right now is trying to decide where the adapter is cached on which replica. So right now, the only simple algorithm is default. What it does is it tries to load the adapter for certain base models to all replicas of this base model deployment. And then if we go ahead, create this as the CR. So the Helm chart changes I made to the PR will automatically install the CRD, etc. And then if you see the face is ready and describe the status, what you will see is when it's ready and loaded, it will show you a pod assignment, showing which pod it is actually registered on. And then if you go ahead and check the endpoint of the pod, like the engine service to list the model again, you should be able to see this model loaded. And then the request sending to this model shouldn't have any problem. So let's check the model again. And this time exactly you add the SQL adapter in this vLLM engine. So right now I have the basic Go code ready, and then I will push the PR for the Helm chart template changes first, and then after you review it, I will share the push the Go code. So all the code, if you still see my screen, I don't know. Yes, you are still seeing my screen. I can go through the code a little bit. Okay, so it's on LoRa Dev, and then all the controllers are in the source folder of LoRa controller. Basically, it's a Golang controller, Kubernetes controller written in Golang, and then all the algorithm of placement is here, and then other part is just the regular controller generated code, and we got a simple Docker file and the makefile as well. So I will add more testing for this, add more like AWS S3 support and IBM Cloud object storage support for this. And then probably we need to update the CI/CD to kind of like build image after each PR of if there is some commit from this folder. That's all from me, and then I need the help to review the Go code. So if you have someone who wants to review the Go code, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I guess like we can like ask in the Slack channel for people who want to review the code code. Yeah. In your next PR. Yeah. But we can definitely like review and yeah, try to merge your current PR today. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Chen, a lot for contribution. Yeah, I think we are out of time. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. So next week we will meet at 4 p.m. PT on Tuesday. Yeah, feel free to join as well, like if time allows. Yeah. So yeah, that's all for today's community meeting. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Yeah, have a good week. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.